Good day and welcome to NACTV's Coffee Chat. My name's Lyle Watson, and we're pleased to have as our guest today Amanda Naughton-Gale. Amanda is the Community Director of the Neepawa Salvation Army and the Neepawa Ministries connection here in Neepawa. Thank you for taking the time, Amanda, to join us. And I think we're going to start with a little bit of a history about Neepawa Salvation Army. Could you share a little bit of that briefly?
For sure, yeah. Thanks for having me today, Lyle. I appreciate it. The Salvation Army has had a very long-standing history here in Neepawa. Some of the first Salvationists were here in 1886 and started the Citadel and on and all those kinds of things. In 1994, just from the dwindling congregation and things like that, the corps officers and the church part of the Salvation Army left Neepawa. However, they stayed as a presence within this community with a thrift store and family services. And so we've continued that on since then. We operated out of the little Citadel on 309 Davidson Street forever, which now is where Kinsman Courts 2 stands. And we moved to 342 Mountain Avenue. It'll be about 6 years ago now. And that has given us all sorts of blessings and opportunities to just grow what we do here in the community.
So it is growing.
Absolutely, yeah. Our thrift store is our main source of funding. So everything that we sell in our thrift store goes back, and all the proceeds and profits goes back into our community to support our family services. So we've gone from just 2 employees to now we have we have 9, 2 full-time and the rest are part-time. And we also have a person who is Leah Anderson, who is our community and family services worker, just because that need in our family services side has really grown in the last couple of years.
Yeah. And added to your paid employees, you also have a large volunteer base.
Yes, we wouldn't be able to do half the things that we do without our volunteers. So we have about 16 to 20, depending on the month, regular volunteers. They come in, they help us out with the thrift store, with our food bank, with our food reclamation programs, and all of that kind of stuff. And then seasonally, because we're coming up to that Christmas season, we have a whole other army of people that come out and donate and volunteer a couple of hours to us to help ring the bells and raise monies for us. And so during this time, we'll see probably close to 60 or more volunteers who will help us out during the Christmas season.
Isn't that that's amazing? Well, it's not amazing. It's just a wonderful thing. Our community does support the Neepawa Salvation Army.
Absolutely. We're so blessed. We're so blessed. And so, we're always looking for volunteers and that kettle season's coming up. So if people are interested to get a hold of us.
That's what we'd like to dedicate part of our program to, being the Christmas season is coming. And it's a very active season for you with several programs that are centered around our Christmas celebration. And one of them is the Christmas hamper itself. And being that Christmas is coming, let's talk about the Christmas hamper and where you're at with that.
For sure. So right now we are open for applications for Christmas hampers. So Christmas hampers are for anyone in our larger community, so Neepawa and the surrounding RMs. If they are feeling financially stressed at this time of year. Our Christmas hampers now consist of a gift card that help cover a Christmas meal and toys for children under the age of 12 and under, and a gift card for children who are under 13 to 17. So so that's kind of what our Christmas hampers are looking like nowadays. A little bit different than the big food hamper and the turkey and the whole thing. And a lot of that is, number one, that was changed a lot during COVID because we weren't able to gather a lot of volunteers to do that. So we had to really pivot in how we give assistance. The other is our community is changing, and not a lot of people that we assist actually, they don't kind of equate that traditional Christmas Canadian turkey dinner with their holiday traditions. And so it makes much more sense now to give people the ability to go and do their own shopping, to create those things that make their holiday what makes sense to them. Maybe it isn't a turkey or a ham or those sorts of things. Maybe it's appetizers and, you know, treats and all of that kind of stuff on Boxing Day, right? Like there's all sorts of family traditions that are out there.
Yes. Yep.
And so this really gives the opportunity for families to continue those traditions for themselves.
It does. And you mentioned you are taking applications, and I'm sure some of our viewers are like myself. I wasn't aware, Amanda, that you actually take applications for the Christmas hamper.
Yeah.
Now, what does that application entail?
So mainly it's if you express that you are in need, we just kind of need your name, address, phone number, who's living in your household. We do ask for a monthly budget just to create other conversations around, you know, sometimes we can see things and put people into resources that may help their family. So that doesn't mean yes or no if your income is higher or lower. It just means that, hey, we may see that you're highly debted. How can we help? Are there things within your budget that we can talk about? And can we give you some advice on monthly budgeting? Or, you know, is there, you know, why is this bill so high? You know, like those sorts of conversations. Yep. It just opens up a door to help people. It doesn't necessarily say yay or nay because of what you're putting down on that piece of paper.
Does it give you and the Salvation Army any control over people not taking advantage or people taking advantage of the system? Does it help you?
A little bit. I would say that most people who are calling to apply for a hamper are in need. And it's hard enough sometimes to pick up that phone. And so we want to be good stewards of the donations that we are entrusted to within our community. And we have very good conversations with surrounding Christmas cheer programs to ensure that people aren't maybe taking advantage of 2 or 3 programs out there, that their home community is where they're getting their support from. And if there are conversations about, you know, why do you feel financial stress, then we're having those conversations. A lot of times some of those things don't show up on paper, right? There might be other things going on in a family that are causing other types of stressors around that time of year. Maybe it's, you know, mental health issues. Maybe there are a lot of addictions that people are facing, and, you know, the money in, money out tell only one story, but sometimes there's a different story in behind that.
The commercialization of Christmas, is that a stress for a lot of people?
I think it is. Yeah, it's a pressure. Absolutely. There's a pressure there to provide. I think sometimes we're really hesitant on not providing everything that our children want, or providing the huge Christmas. And I think sometimes when times are tough, we forget that it's not about what's under the tree. It's about, you know, being together and having a meal and having an experience with your family. You know, some families are doing really well at, you know what, my kids have so much anyways. We're just, you know, really focusing on a couple of things and that's it. But there are definitely pressures out there about how much and the, you know, give more. And in this time, it can be very difficult, especially with the cost of living right now.
Right now, You had mentioned serving the community of Neepawa and also the outlying area. Do you serve all the outlying municipalities with an application? Can anybody apply from the RMs as well as the town of Neepawa?
Absolutely, yeah. So if you live in the RM of Rosedale, RM of Langford, North Cyprus, Lansdowne, Glenella, you can absolutely apply. The Westlake Gladstone area, you can apply. We actually assist that hamper program, but Lauralee Fair and Terry Fair in Gladstone organize everything in the Gladstone area for us. And so all people have to do in that area is phone up Lauralee and make their application.
And they're volunteers.
They are volunteers, and they've been doing this for us for quite a few years, and we're very appreciative of their assistance.
What a beautiful way for our communities to connect and partner and work together.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Being Christmas time and coming up, I'm sure we'll see the cattle out pretty soon. You mentioned briefly at your opening remarks about volunteerism. When does the cattle go out, and how many volunteers, or are you still looking for volunteers?
We are totally looking for volunteers. Actually, tomorrow evening, November 14th, we're doing a kettle training volunteer fair at the library at 7 p.m. But if people have missed that date and want to sign up, you can look on our social medias, so Facebook or Instagram, and there are links up to actually selecting a shift, or you can always give Leah a call. She is our kettle coordinator this year, and her number is 431-759-5536, and just give her a call, or the store 476-5869, and we will happily sign you up. Our kettle campaign really is our major fundraiser for the year, and usually offsets the cost of our Christmas hampers. It hasn't in the past couple of years. And so the need definitely has grown and grown. Last year, we had 140 hampers in the Neepawa area alone that we gave out. And so that was 140 families who needed assistance in this community. That cost us close to about $15,000 to do that. And we raised just under $10,000. So, you know, there is a bit of a shortfall there. We expect that we're looking at an increase this year. Our food bank use has increased about 38% over the past year. And I don't even want to, it's almost probably 200% since 2020 that we've doubled, or that we've increased. We used to do about 12 to 15 hampers a month. Last year we were doing 35 to 40, and this year we're doing around 50 hampers a month. So that need just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing. And so we expect that our Christmas hamper program will also increase as well. So if that increases about the same amount, we'll need about $20,000 to cover that cost. And so we're hoping that, and we know that times are tough, but if people are able to find, you know, that $5 or $20 or however much that you can find and put into a kettle, we'd be much appreciated.
Back to the volunteer part of it, if a person's interested in volunteering and they don't mind taking a shift, they don't have to sign up for multiple shifts.
No.
It can be one shift or two.
It can be one or two shifts if you want. It's really super easy. All of our outdoor shifts, if you are thinking about coming out and being outdoors, our 1 hour shifts, our indoor locations are 2 hour shifts. And just filling a shift is much appreciated. I believe there's 148 shifts that we need to fill. So,
148.
Yeah, we have 3 kettle stands that'll be out on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. We start that at the 25th, I believe it is, the Saturday where the wish sale and the parade of lights are. So you'll see us out and about then. And then we are out in the community until the 22nd of December. 22nd.
Wow. So you do have a few shifts to cover.
There's a few shifts.
And how long is each shift?
About between an hour or 2 hours. Yeah.
Okay. So for our viewers, give that some thought, and if you're interested, get in touch with the numbers that Amanda said. Interesting.
Yeah, and it's not hard. It's standing there and having a chat with and saying hello to your neighbors. Really, it's a great way to connect and see people.
Well, there is a very important socialization aspect of standing at the kettle, isn't it?
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
It can be fun. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Moving on to programs, and of course you're always looking for new programs, but one that's new to me and probably a lot of our viewers is the Community Kitchen program. Where and what transpired that, and what is it, and how does it work?
For sure, yeah. So we're really excited to actually start cooking. We'll be doing that tonight, actually. So we have two community kitchens that have kind of collectively opened up. There was a group of people who wanted to get together on Tuesday, kind of mid-mornings, and a Monday evening group that wanted to cook together. Basically, the idea of a community or a collective kitchen is people coming together, putting in a little bit of money. The Salvation Army puts in a little bit of money. You utilize that to basically batch cook for everybody that is there. So if, you and Judy and myself and Steve, there's 4 portions right there. And maybe, there was a couple of other people that wanted to join us, then we would all be cooking for what we can take home for our family.
Really?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. It's a great way to stretch budgets, a fantastic way to introduce different meals into your family's meal rotations, try new things, and it's a great way to connect with other people and to cook together with.
So who is leading this program, and how do they determine what menu they're going to have on a given day?
So really it's about the group is what it determines what they're going to cook. I am leading the Monday night one, and we have a volunteer, Jennifer Dubois, who is leading the Tuesday afternoon group. And really it's about what the group wants to cook, what they want to see, what they want to do, and what's available, right? So they also have the ability to come into the thrifts or into the food bank and shop our shelves there to even further stretch out the about $150 budget that they would have typically.
So this is a relatively new program.
It is.
When did it start, and what has been the response to this point?
So really positive right now. This is kind of our test kitchens. So having just 2 right now is great. We're hoping that maybe we can have a few more later on, but we're just really wanting to kind of start small and see how these groups work out any of the kinks and the things that the logistics that may not work or might work better for people. Our biggest hurdle was finding a place to cook. And so the Calvary Chapel has been a great partner and is allowing us to utilize their kitchen facility to do that right now. And so that was our major thing to get the project up and running. We kind of launched ideas of it kind of in the spring, but we were waiting for some construction issues to finish off. And now those are all kind of set before us, and we're good to go, and the kitchen's up and running, and we'll see what comes out of it. Yeah.
I know, Amanda, that the Neepawa Salvation Army and yourself are great proponents of inclusiveness. Is there is there a possibility at some point in time of a Filipino kitchen?
Oh, absolutely.
Kitchen, and I would like to experience, for example, if I wanted to experience some Filipino menus and stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. If there are people, like the community kitchens are open to anybody who would like to cook together. And we will be looking probably in the new year at other kitchens opening up. So yeah, if people are interested, if there is a group of folks that want to cook together and experience different cultures in their cooking, absolutely, that can totally happen. Right now, our Tuesday afternoon has a lot of our Touchwood clients in it that are coming to cook together and help stretch their own budgets as well, and learn some new tips and tricks and how to cook and share cooking ideas in the kitchen. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like an exciting program, and I wish you well on it, and I hope it turns out and continues on in our community.
Thanks. I do too. I really see that there's an opportunity for people to just get together and cook and share and create community within those kitchens. If people are interested after listening to this and thinking, oh, that sounds like something I would really love to do, give me a call, and we can always look at what does that look like in the new year. How can we start up another one? Does that work for? It was finding time frames for everybody as well, and so we can. And or if somebody's really like, hey, I'll lead it. Absolutely.
Yeah. The food hamper program is one of your big projects, or bigger projects, I would think. How is it going, and are you maintaining it to the point where you're happy with it yet, in terms of maintenance?
For sure. Our food bank is hopping. We're very, very busy. Like I said, we're doing about 50 hampers a month. If people are in need of food, again, please give us a call either at the store or at Leah's number, and we can, put you into our system. We are transitioning our food bank to a shopping style, which we kind of were way back in the day. COVID changed all of those sorts of things, and we went to a selection system where people would get a link, they could select what they needed, and then we would pre-pack their hamper based on what they said that they needed, if we had it, those sorts of things. Having people come back to the food bank, look at the shelves and shop those shelves makes such a huge difference, because again, it's selecting what you actually want and what you will cook with and what your family likes and all of those things. And there's a bit of a budgetary component to it. You get so many points per people, per size of your family, and then you can shop the points within the food bank. So everything has a point value. Some of it's 0, some of it's 1, some of it's 2 and 3 and 4. Depends on price or the amount of it, or nutritional value. If we have a lot of high nutritional value things that a lot of people don't necessarily go for, but they're actually low points. And so that we're hoping to encourage people to maybe look at how they can incorporate things like lentils or beans or chickpeas or other types of proteins within their diets. And then there's other kind of ready to eat things that are higher in points.
Throughout the year, Amanda, there's a couple, like the Hope Drive for donations to the Salvation Army and the food bank. What about normal donations on a regular basis? What can you suggest to our viewers for a continued, more often donation rather than those
specific food drives?
Yeah.
Without those specific food drives, our shelves would honestly be empty. So we're very grateful for the NACI Hope Group and for doing those drives. But the need is all year round. And so if people are thinking about, oh, you know what, every month I would love to donate something, or even every week within your weekly shop, things like canned protein, so canned meat, canned fish, peanut butter, those types of things we're always in need of. But we've been so busy that honestly anything will help. But we also forget that things like personal items like shampoo, conditioner, laundry soap, dish soap, toilet paper are also things that are in need of all the time as well.
There was an interesting article in the Banner and Press recently about a suggestion regarding when our businesses and stores have a buy one, get one free. To take advantage of the buy one, get one free, and look at donating
Absolutely.
the free one to someone like the Neepawa Salvation Army would be a prime place to donate something like that.
Absolutely. We take donations in all the time. Yeah. Any time is a good time for food to come in. We probably give out close to 3,500 pounds of food every month.
Yeah.
And so just in perspective, the food drive that we had just this past Halloween with the Hope Group, they collected close to, I think at the end, about 3,900 pounds. So
39,
when you think, we're giving, and now we're not all just giving out just non-perishables. We have frozen protein and fresh produce and bread and all of those wonderful things from our food reclamation program that we get from Safeway, Co-op, Giant Tiger, and our other grocery stores here in town to help supplement those hampers. But it kind of gives you a balance of, it doesn't take long for that food to be used up.
Yep. When a person thinks about it, we should be checking our pantries and our cupboards on a regular basis. The question I have is expiry date.
Sure.
There's a lot of food that has no expiry date, and we should probably be checking our pantries to see what,
Yeah.
But expiry date, can you just touch on that a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So that best before or use by is not an expiry date. So those items are like things like dried pasta or even canned goods, honestly, have years and years and years and years of shelf life.
Yes.
As a food bank, we can share food past its best before or use by date up to a year past that date, depending on what it is, if it's non-perishables. Even when we're looking at things like our fresh produce and dairy and things like that, just because, again, it's best before or it's used by, it's not an expiry date. Okay. Yogurt is already fermented, right? So yes. Unless it's furry on top, then it's probably bad. But there is life past the best before date. And same with even our meats and things like that. If you freeze things, you can extend the best before date on that. Really, the only things that expire are things like baby formula, protein bars, meal supplements, those sorts of things, because the nutritional value diminishes after those dates. And so if somebody is relying on that for their nutritional intake, then there may be issues with their nutrition intake if they're using things past the best before.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing
that,
because that's an important point, I think, to observe in our pantries. The store itself, the thrift store itself, in terms of donations of all the interesting articles that you receive, that you merchandise.
Yep.
It's a big part of your fundraising, I'm sure.
Absolutely. That is 85% of our operation costs.
And, for a lot of people within our community that has these extra items of clothes or whatever it may be, kitchen items or whatever, it's a very easy way to downsize and to tidy up your house and keep your house in order.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's a great way of supporting your community, right? So right. Yes. It's amazing the amount of stuff that we get in, and it's amazing the amount of stuff that we sell.
And some quality stuff.
Quantities, yeah. There's a lot there.
Yeah, and quality too, though. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic quality. It's amazing what comes in. We're very blessed that our community really, I feel, respects what we do in the community and really respects that they want to donate really wonderful items to us, and that helps our store out for sure. It helps those who shop our store. There's always a deal to be had for sure. Half of our items are always on sale, whether that's 50% off or 75% off, depends on what the tag color is during the month. And then we always have some wonderful other items that we do, like little silent auctions on and things like that. Just because some things are worth maybe a little bit more.
Yeah. So it's kind of a fun thing to go shopping at the thrift store on occasion.
Absolutely. You never know what you're going to find. That's for sure.
I've heard that from other people. They do go because they never know what they might find. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, as usual, Amanda, our time kind of slips away quickly on us, and being it's the Christmas season, and being that you are the representative of such an important organization within our community, I would like to ask you to share a thought or two in closing our program with our viewers here today.
For sure. Thanks. Thanks, Lyle. We, this time of year is honestly so very difficult for so many people. And if you have the ability to donate time, and stand at a kettle for us, or donate items such as brand new unwrapped toys, or even food all throughout the year, or even donating to our thrift store, we really would appreciate that. If you are somebody who is feeling that financial stress at this time of year, please reach out and let us help ease that burden a bit for this year. We have people, it really is a hard thing to do. If you know of somebody who could use a Christmas hamper, we do need that person's permission, but please reach out, and I can always reach out to that person to say, hey, we hear that you might be struggling. And so be good neighbors, and hopefully when you see a kettle that you'll be able to either put a few dollars in, or if you don't have any cash on you, you can always tap your card and make a donation that way. So just again, thank you to the Neepawa area for your generous help and donations and support over the years. Thank you. It makes a big difference in everybody's lives.
Well, thank you very much for sharing that with us, Amanda. Those are well thought, well spoken words of support, supporting a way of supporting our community, and a way for this thrift store to support the community back. So it's a great partnership, and we're thank you for the hard work and that you put in along with your staff and your volunteers, and we appreciate it very much on behalf of the community.
Thank you so much.
We have a couple other things we didn't have time to talk about, so I think we may have to have another coffee chat someday, Amanda.
That sounds like a great time.
And I think we got a couple other areas that we could find interesting.
There's probably one or two.
Yes, yes. Well, that concludes our coffee chat today, and again, thank you to Amanda Naughton-Gale from this Neepawa Salvation Army thrift store, and thank you for watching, and till next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a good day.